Welcome to your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 738. If you are writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you've started writing a book but need some help getting it done, you are in the right place. Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh. If you're looking for me online, look for Christine Inc., like that stuff we write with. Each day, I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 19 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that three things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they can turn someone who barely sees themselves as a writer into a published book author. Those three things are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. It's kind of a flashback quote. Anything you can do on the internet, I want you to be able to do on MySpace. That's the goal and ambition. Tom Anderson, remember him? Founder of MySpace, and he said that about his brand new social media site. So I wanted to have a little flashback there, and it goes with today's Friday Fact. And yes, happy Friday, which means Friday Facts Day, where each Friday I offer up a fact about something relevant to authors or books or writing, or in this case today, productivity and mindset habits, and then discuss how to apply it to your writing. So here's today's Friday Fact. It's from an article on addictioncenter.com. It's actually from two different pieces of the article. And as always, I'll put the link to the article in the show notes. According to a study by Harvard University, self-disclosure on social networking sites lights up the same part of the brain that also ignites when taking an addictive substance. When an individual gets a notification such as a like or mention, the brain receives a rush of dopamine and sends it along reward pathways, causing him or her to feel pleasure. Social media provides an endless amount of immediate rewards in the form of attention from others for relatively minimal effort. Therefore, the brain rewires itself through this positive reinforcement, making people desire likes, retweets, and emoticon reactions. Really interesting information, and if you listen to the show regularly, you've heard me talk about the importance of unplugging, of going offline before you step into the writing cave and working on your book, because very briefly, writing is a proactive process. You're creating something from nothing, and being on the internet is reactive. And I always like to say it's kind of like when you're trying to do both at the same time, it's like trying to put your car in drive and reverse at the same time, and it just ends up in neutral. And then people wonder why they can't write their books, and it's not your fault. It's not a judgment on you as an author or the quality of your book idea. It's that if you have, your internet and notifications, if you have everything on and you're trying to create something at the same time, you're putting your brain in neutral. That's my analogy for that. So in general, I'm sure I've gone off on more than a few mini soapbox rants about the distraction power of social media and the internet. But the reason I chose the quote that I've just read as our Friday fact is because I want to make a distinction. I'm not asking you to leave the internet completely, like for life, and all the other times when you're outside of your writing cave. Because as an author, you have a business, and social media is likely necessary in that business of being an author. The main thing I'm talking about, and the distinction I want to make, and the thing I'm warning against, is the distracting and, yes, addicting power of all those notifications. Those ones that were either set as defaults on your device when you started adding internet and social media apps to your phone, those ones that you never bothered to turn off, or the ones maybe you've intentionally programmed because for whatever reason, you do feel the need to know whenever the moment someone likes, comments, or shares one of your posts. My point here, though, is not judgment of your notifications and how you have your phone and devices scheduled, not judging you. It's awareness. Don't allow anything that could affect your mind to be on autopilot or default. Because defaulting to the factory settings on social media benefits the people running the social media, not you, the user. Do an inventory of all your notifications. Highly recommend this. Anything capable of lighting up your device, or worse, actually making an audible sound capable of disrupting your train of thought and productivity, whether you're writing or not. Think about that. Sounds and lights and flashing, you're doing something to your brain every time one of those things interrupts your train of thought. So see how many you can turn to the off position, and then see how the quality of your productivity and your general mental clarity and focus. Think about this. You can rewire your brain just by turning a bunch of those things off So you're basically training your brain to not be constantly interrupted. You think you're not interrupted. You think those things are in the background, but turn them off and see how your focus and your mental clarity, just your overall productivity, just overall like how your brain feels. Be aware of how your brain feels. Switch a bunch of things off and see how that changes. Cut off that mind rewiring dopamine at the source. Take back your attention because it was never meant to be up for grabs in the first place. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I am helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And please feel free, if you're on Facebook anyway, to drop by my Inc. Authors group and let us know how we can support your writing goals. I would also appreciate it if you could subscribe or follow or whatever, wherever you see this, wherever you're listening to this show, and leave a review. Thank you. Until tomorrow, happy writing.